Easily one of the most controversial cameras right now is the Blackmagic Pyxis 6K camera that just got unveiled at NAB last week. We finally have our box cinema camera from Blackmagic, and the debate and the anger and the passion online is pretty intense. So in this video, I wanted to take some time to discuss the Pyxis, some of its biggest complaints, and address personally why I think they're not as big of a deal as some people might think. But disclaimer, this is my opinion, okay? Every camera serves a different purpose for each different person and what they're doing. So this is how I see it. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. Let's get a discussion going. And guys, please be nice to each other. Starting off with probably the biggest talking point, the side screen. The side screen is a 4-inch LCD monitor capable of up to 1500 nits of brightness, and it's fixed. Listen guys, there are a lot of cinema cameras that have fixed screens. It's nothing new. I think it would have been really cool if we got a flip out screen like the 6K Pro, and I totally understand the versatility of that, but I think the two major points to remember are it would have raised the price, maybe not by a lot, but it would have, and it also would have made it thicker. So most of us are going to be using monitors on our cameras anyways, especially a cinema camera like that. You're not supposed to use it without a monitor. I mean, have you ever seen anybody use an FX6 that's like just using the monitor it comes with? The C70's got one too. It's pretty bad. It's pretty flimsy. You're going to be adding a monitor to this camera anyways, or at least you should be. I think it's nice to have quick access to the side of it, make a couple adjustments, or maybe have somebody else watching it while the other person monitors it with the actual monitor, whether it be a Blackmagic Video Assist or otherwise. So I didn't see it as that big of a deal personally, and I think it doesn't affect the camera overall in too much of a negative way like the discussion it's been having online. The second thing I want to talk about is the rear battery. I think it's great they took this route of using the BPU batteries, and I'll tell you why. I think V-mount would have been really nice because you can just clamp it on and it's good to go. But think of the people who might not want to use V-mount. Let's say you want to put it on a gimbal and you want to be as light as possible. That V-mount battery could add quite a bit of weight. By having BPU, you have the option to use a light but still pretty powerful battery, or to just connect V-mount externally. If they did V-mount, they'd be forcing everyone to work with that attachment and not giving the users more flexibility. So I think by adding BPU, they actually made things more flexible for people buying this camera. And I'm also really glad that we don't have to deal with NPFs anymore and the 1-hour battery life. I'm hoping this gets a couple hours out of it, especially because BPU comes in so many different variants. The next thing I want to talk about is internal NDs, and this is one that's very interesting because we know the 6K Pro had it, and some of the Ursas have it, but Blackmagic claims they can't do it because of L-mount's limitations, specifically the distance they have to work with. So I think we are going to get internal NDs in the future. There is a patent, I'll try to find it and put it on the screen, that came from Panasonic where they're trying to use electronic NDs internally, which I think is done on the FX6. So I wouldn't be surprised if Panasonic releases S1H Mark II, BS1H Mark II, S1 Mark II, that has electronic NDs inside of it, and then Blackmagic makes a Pyxis Pro. They're probably just waiting for that technology. You know, they're part of the L-mount alliance now. They're sharing stuff with each other. I think it's inevitable to get. Also, internal NDs would have raised the price. So as cool as that would have been, I think forcing people to pay a little bit extra for the internal NDs wouldn't have been very smart. At least this way, they're giving you that $3,000 price point. It comes with what it comes with, and they're trying to focus on hitting that budget to performance ratio. I think releasing a model down the line that has more features, including internal NDs, makes more sense. You can kind of hit more consumers that way. So it sucks, but adding NDs is nothing new. I mean, I know there's a few cameras that have it, of course, but it's not too much of a problem in my eyes. There's a nice workaround. I'd much rather have the optical low-pass filter. That's something that is much harder to install on a camera versus slapping on an ND. So glad we got that. Also, it has a lack of HDMI. You can't connect an HDMI cable to this yet. I've seen some people theorize that there might be a workaround using the USB-C port that uses the viewfinder from the Ursa viewfinder. They think there's a way that you'll be able to do a USB-C to HDMI adapter, but regardless, most professional monitors and people on professional sets are using SDI anyways. So that's just kind of the standard. I think having SDI is totally fine, and HDMI would have been cool to have both, yes, but I'm sure there was a good reason why they couldn't do both. Last negative thing I want to talk about is the lack of ProRes. We saw this on the 6K full frame, and obviously it's coming back because it's the same sensor. I did see that there's a way to record ProRes with a video assist. So as long as you have a video assist, you can at least do ProRes externally. I mean, I love Blackmagic RAW, so I plan on shooting that for most of the time. But for those of you ProRes users, recording externally to the video assist is the workaround. So 6K full frame didn't have it, and I don't foresee it being much of a problem. So in conclusion, I think the Pyxis is awesome. I think we're finally getting the box camera that we've wanted for a long time, and the things that it's missing don't break it for me personally. I'm really excited to get my hands on it, and I think we're gonna get an even cooler model down the road, but for now, the Pyxis is perfect for what I need. I shoot on an S5 2X, I have a couple of L mount lenses and a couple PL mount lenses. So having something that's going to allow me to use my glass in that awesome cinema body would be really sweet. So anyways, what do you guys think? Do you think that the criticism is justified? Do you think that my counterpoints make sense? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And like I said in the beginning of the video, be nice to each other, okay? It's a camera at the end of the day. There's no reason to start attacking people, insulting people, all right? Let's just enjoy that we live in such an awesome time with great camera gear. But also, if you liked this video, consider subscribing and leaving a like. Helps the channel grow. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Until the next video, I'll see you then. Stay creative.